Village Board for January 25th, 2022. Could you please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Village Clerk, would you please call the roll?
President DeSimone,
Here.
Trustee Fry,
Here.
Trustee Lomax.
Here.
Trustee Penicola,
Here.
Trustee Perez.
Here.
That's 5.
We will move to public comment. Does anyone wish to address the board? If so, please approach the podium and state your name.
Yes, I didn't see anything. I didn't check.
We don't have public comment?
We do not.
Are there any online public comment?
We have none.
This will conclude public comment. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from the January 11th, 2022 Village Board meeting?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Give a second.
Are there any modifications to the minutes? Please call the roll.
Trustee Fry,
Yes.
Trustee Lomax.
Yes.
Trustee Penicola,
Yes.
Trustee Perez.
Yes.
That's 4.
Motion carries and the minutes are approved. The next item of business is to approve the warrant in the amount of $736,893.45. Is there a motion to approve the warrant?
You have a motion?
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion on the warrant? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Fry,
Yes.
Trustee Lomax,
Yes.
Trustee Penicola,
Yes.
Trustee Perez.
Yes.
That's 4.
Motion carries and the warrant is approved. There are no items on the consent agenda. Under Community and Economic Development, there's an ordinance granting a special use permit to operate a daycare center at 329 South York Road, Bentsville, Illinois. Is there a motion to approve the ordinance?
Give a motion.
Do I have a second to the
Second.
motion? There being a motion and a second, we have discussion? Scott?
Yeah, this is 329 South York. It's the historic building kind of in the center of the Bridgeway site. Historically, don't use historically twice, but in the past, it was a daycare center as part of the use. That daycare center had left and that use had lapsed. So this special use simply reinstates that approval to operate a portion of that building as a daycare center. They do have about 75 children there, 0 to 12 years of age. Staff is supportive of this multi-generational use on this property. It's a good idea. The CDC did conduct a public hearing on the 4th of January and voted unanimously to recommend approval. The conditions attached to the special use just are the standards, make sure the life safety things are in place, and the appropriate licensures from the state of Illinois.
Any questions from the board? Please call the roll.
Trustee Fry,
Yes.
Trustee Lomax.
Yes.
Trustee Penicola,
Yes.
Trustee Perez.
Yes.
That's 4.
Motion carries and the ordinance is passed. Number 2 is an ordinance granting approval of a site plan and variations to construct a 1,500 square foot light industrial building at 238 Park Street in Bensenville, Illinois. Is there a motion to approve the ordinance?
You have a motion?
Do I have a second?
Second.
Being a motion and a second, do we have discussion?
This is a small vacant industrial lot. We did see this back on the 7th of December, and the staff had requested it be remanded back to the CDC for further discussion and revision, frankly. Those revisions were made. The public hearing was conducted again at the CDC on the 4th of January. There's a series of variations involved here because the lot is so small and it's a double-fronted lot with the front yard both on the east on Park Street and on the west on Marion Court. Most of the conversation to have it remanded and worked on some more had to do with the residential properties to the west. They did submit 2 plans. The staff had picked the one with no curb cut on Marion Court. The CDC did recommend approval of that plan on the 4th of January, 7-0. The plan you have in your packet that shows the driveway on the south side of the building with no curb cut onto Marion is the one that's being presented for approval tonight. So I won't go through the variations, but as I said, most of them are because of the lot itself and the double-fronted nature. We recommend approval of this.
Any questions from the board?
The one picture that had the driveway on there, was that where the parking will be as well for the warehouse, or?
Right, the Plan B had the driveway, and the parking is in the front on the east side on Park. And then that was one of the variations, to make sure that parking was in the front. There you go. Thank you, Joe. That required a little variation as well. And you can see it's a small lot. The house, frankly, that was on it was demolished a number of years ago. And this is an appropriate use for this small piece of industrial property.
No, thank you.
Any other questions from the board? Please call the roll.
Trustee Fry,
Yes.
Trustee Lomax.
Yes.
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's four.
The motion carries and the ordinance is passed. Number 3 is a resolution approving a facade improvement program grant in the not-to-exceed amount of $10,000 for Gina's Drive-In at 1222 West Irving Park Road. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
You have
Yep.
a motion?
Do we have a second?
Second?
Being a motion and a second, do we have discussion?
We've, now that the pandemic is hopefully winding down, we're getting back into the facade grant business. Gina's, of course, is a local landmark on the west end of town on Irving Park Road. Ralph and the folks there have been there for a long time. I noticed today they've been there since the year I graduated from high school. That shows you how long ago that was. But they are doing a bunch of work on the property. In your packet, there's all the quotes and so forth. It's a great use of the village funds to go 50% on the cost of this, up to $10,000, and that is our recommendation.
Any questions from the board? Please call the roll.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Penicola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's four.
Motion carries and the resolution is approved. Number 4 is a resolution approving a facade improvement program grant in the not-to-exceed amount of $10,000 for Omega Properties LLC at 114 West Green Street. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
You have a motion?
Do we have a second?
Second?
Being a motion and a second, do we have discussion?
We hope this new building will be a local landmark, just like Gina's, for many years to come. It's the first newly constructed building in the downtown area since the townhouse is just behind the law office across the street. So it was exciting. This one, we did get the request quite a while ago, and the pandemic basically shut us down. So we're bringing this back to you now. The original construction budget for this was over $700,000. And so we're requesting, accepting his request to take about $10,000 facade grant. He did, you can see, Joe, thank you, put the front facade of the building up there. I think it looks great, and we tinkered with him quite a bit and added the costs on that front of that building when he built it. So we respectfully request that this be approved for $10,000.
Any questions from the board? Please call the roll.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Penicola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's four.
Motion carries and resolution is approved. On to Public Works, there's a resolution waiving competitive bidding and authorizing a purchase order to Larry Roche Ford of Bentsville, Illinois for the purchase of 2 police vehicles in the not-to-exceed amount of $74,850. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
You have a
Do we
motion?
have a second?
Second.
Second.
Being a motion and a second, do we have discussion?
Yeah, so 2 police vehicles were approved in the 2022 budget. Per our agreement with Larry Roche Ford, they will supply the vehicles at or below the state bid pricing. The cost for each of the 2 patrol SUVs is $37,290 apiece for a total amount of $74,580. We are hopeful that these vehicles will be available and in the pipeline for a mid-2022 delivery. Delivery obviously is kind of stalled in the entire industry, so we're hoping for the best. So staff does recommend approval of this purchase.
Any questions from the board? Please call the roll.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Penicola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's four.
Motion carries and resolution is approved. Number 2 is a resolution to appropriate the use of the motor fuel tax, MFT funds to pay for roadway-related general maintenance in the amount of $140,000 from January 1st, 2022 to December 31st, 2022. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
You have a motion?
Do we have a second?
Second.
Being a motion and a second discussion, Joe?
Yeah, so this is our annual resolution to appropriate our MFT funds. This year, we're going to be consistent with our previous years. We're going to put $100,000 towards pavement patching. This patching program will be throughout the entire town, just little areas here and there that we need it. That'll be $100,000, and then we have a $40,000 sidewalk remove and replacement program that we consistently do each year. Again, that'll be sporadic throughout the entire town. We'll focus on complaints first before we get into a specific zone. So the $140,000 is our resolution in front of you, and staff does recommend approval.
Questions from the board? Please call the roll.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Penicola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's four.
Motion carries and the resolution is approved. Number 3 is a resolution authorizing the approval of change order number 1 with John Neary Construction Company Incorporated for the White Pines Water Main Rehabilitation Project for a decrease of $356,093.70, resulting in a revised contract amount of $5,429,891.55. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
You have a motion?
Do we have a second?
Second.
Being a motion is second, do we have discussion on this, Joe?
Yeah, so the White Pines project was substantially completed back in November of 2021. A majority of the final quantities have already been agreed upon and are in front of you tonight in this change order. Again, the contract was between the village and John Neary Construction. The change order number 1 does reflect these final quantities that have been agreed upon. There are still a handful of items that we still are working to get resolution on. Our anticipation is we'll bring another change order back in the spring once the final punch list and landscaping work is done out in the field. The revised net value of this change order is a decrease in the amount of $356,093.70. And as President mentioned, the revised contract amount is $5,429,891.25. I do want to express my gratitude to Civil Tech Engineering, John Neary Construction, our staff, as well as the customers out in the White Pines. I have to say that, the construction project went very smoothly with very minimal interruptions. I think the customers out there were great once that project started going. They were very cooperative with us. The amount of work we got done in that amount of time was pretty impressive. So I do want to thank everybody that was out there. Again, thank the village board for their support in getting this project off on the streets. It was a much-needed project, and we're very happy that the construction is done. Again, I do expect one change order coming probably in the spring. It will be a positive change order just because there's a couple of items that were zeroed out in this change order. And the reason why I did this was to get the grant funding or the loan funding returned from EPA. We have to do a change order for the current amount, and then we'll do one final change order for what I'm going to expect is something less than $50,000 back in the spring. So staff does recommend approval of this change order so we can go ahead and get our reimbursement from the EPA.
All said and done, it came in under budget, correct?
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's great.
Quite a bit, and I think when we first pitched this project, we were looking at over $7 million at one point.
Correct.
And at the beginning of that, we said if it comes in over that, we'll eat it, and if it comes in less than that, we'll pass the savings along to the White Pines project area, and that's what we're doing here. So the increased value that is on the White Pines water bills now is reflective of this savings.
Great.
Good. That's good.
Any questions from the board? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Penicola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's 4.
Motion carries and resolution is approved. Nice work.
Yeah.
Resolution waiving competitive bidding and authorizing a purchase order to Solinas for purchase and delivery of polymer in the not to exceed amount of $21,709.80. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
You have a motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Being a motion and a second, is there any discussion?
Yeah, so these next 3 items are going to relate to some of the operations over at the wastewater treatment plant, some of our annual renewals and things of that nature. This item is for our annual polymer purchase. Polymer is a very large organic molecule that helps our process in really dewatering and clumping up our byproduct of the wastewater plant, put it simple. We have to purchase polymer for our product. We typically base this on its performance, so we do sample different types of polymer during the year and try to find the one that works best with our waste. So for 2022, we are proposing to use 3 different polymers from a company called Solinas. We have used them in the past. They're very responsive as far as delivery and getting the product we need when we need it. The total value of the 3 products is estimated at about $21,710, and staff does recommend approval.
Questions from the board? No polymer questions?
We'll get into sludge next, so I'm waiting for all the questions on sludge.
Trustee Fry?
Wrong group.
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Penicola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's 4.
Motion carries and resolution is approved. Number 5 is a resolution authorizing the execution of extension number 1 with Stewart Spreading Incorporated for sludge hauling and land application in a not to exceed amount of $115,000. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
You have a motion?
We have a second.
Second.
Being a motion, a second discussion.
So I will save you on the long explanation of sludge that I usually give you every year. Just say it's a byproduct of the wastewater plant. It's typically called cake, but I would not eat it. Stewart Spreading has been hauling our sludge since 2013. The last contract expired in December, but we had the option of 2 one-year extensions. It's staff recommendation to go ahead and execute the first of those 2 extensions in the amount of $115,000. This is the amount we budgeted for the 2022 season. There is a cost increase on this extension of 5%. The CPI is currently at 5.8% or 5.9%. So we did hold them down to 5% in this renewal. They were accepting of that offer. So staff does recommend approval.
Questions from the board?
That's great.
Call the roll.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Pena Cola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's 4.
Motion carries and resolution is approved. 6 is a resolution authorizing the execution of a change order number 2, final with Stewart Spreading Incorporated for an increase of $16,431.15 for the 2020-2021 sludge hauling contract for a revised contract cost of $238,136.35. Is there a motion to approve?
You have a motion.
Second?
Second.
Being a motion is second, discussion, please.
Yeah, so this is just the closeout of our last contract. As I said, that contract expired on December 31st. The purpose of this change order was really the fact that we had favorable weather in December and were able to actually haul out all of the sludge in our barn before the end of the year. Hopefully that's going to help us in the springtime. If we get a really wet spring, we've typically had to pay extra to haul it twice. If the farms aren't ready and too wet for land application, we typically have to haul it to a transfer site and then haul it from the transfer site to the thing. So by emptying out our dome or our sludge barn, I think this was a good option for us and an opportunity to take advantage of. So staff does recommend approval of this final change order to that contract.
Any questions? Please call the roll.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Pena Cola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's 4.
Motion carries, resolution is approved. 7 is an ordinance of the Village of Bentsville, Cook County, Illinois, approving a public highway underpass agreement with Union Pacific Railroad Company for the ongoing use, maintenance, and repair of a portion of roadway, subject to final attorney review. Is there a motion to approve the ordinance?
You have a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Being a motion and a second, discussion?
So as part of the Elgin O'Hare project, the I-490 kind of ring road that's going on our southern borders here of the project, there's going to be a new UP Railroad bridge installed over Green and Franklin Avenue at our very eastern border of Bensonville and Franklin Park. The way that this one kind of panned out is that the UP owns the property that is under the bridge. So instead of there being a typical right-of-way that we own underneath the bridge, the railroad actually owns the property. So the tollway has asked us to work with the Union Pacific Railroad to develop basically an agreement, a maintenance agreement, and an ownership and cross-access agreement, if you will. Our attorney has been working with the engineers from the tollway and the UP attorneys on trying to finalize the terms of the agreement. It's a very tricky one. The railroad doesn't like to change their agreements typically, but we are not really happy with some of the language in there. So Mr. Montana has been working with them on trying to finalize that. We're putting on the agenda so that when they can finally get to those terms, we can go ahead and approve it and not have to wait for our next board meeting. So it's staff's recommendation to approve this pending the attorney's final review.
Questions from the board?
Is there a timeline for construction on that to begin, or?
I believe the construction for some of the roadway and bridge work is anticipated in 2022 towards the latter half. So I think that's why they're trying to push us to get this done. But I don't think they're really going to be breaking ground until 2023, to be honest.
Okay.
Any other questions? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Pena Cola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's 4.
Motion carries, ordinance is passed. Moving on to presidential remarks. Our outdoor ice skating rink is continued to be open in Town Center Park. Please bring your own skates, or rental options are available at the Edge Ice Arena. Just a reminder, skating is allowed until dusk. Weather permitting, see the village website for more information, and keep an eye out on the red and green flags out there. Also, the Village of Bentsville has collaborated with Elgin Recycling to offer free holiday light recycling through the end of February. So drop-off boxes are located in Bentsville Village Hall and at the Public Works Department during regular business hours. All types of holiday string lights, working or not, are accepted. Another thing, hoping everybody's staying healthy out there, everybody's staying strong. As you notice, we've kind of been ravaged here at the board level. I want to send a shout out to Rosa. She's recovering. Wish her well. We all wish her well. Hope to see her soon. Village manager's report.
Yeah, building upon that, thank you, Your Honor. Building upon that, staffing shortages are real here at the village. So as your village manager, I need to be cognizant to not burn staff out and overwork them. So we've slightly modified our hours of Village Hall Monday through Friday, we're now Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. We're closed Saturday and no extended hours on Tuesday. Also, the front counters are closed 1:30 to 2:30 to give our staff a valuable, much-needed break. If you have any questions about when we're open, feel free to give us a call ahead, but typically in the morning we're open, and then other than that short window, 1:30 to 2:30, we're also open. We encourage everyone to pay online, use mail, the Dropbox, whatever they feel safe doing. And if none of those work, give us a call and make accommodations to make sure that we can handle your request. That concludes my report, Mr. President.
Do you have a village attorney's report?
There is no report, Mr. President.
Is there any unfinished business to come before the board tonight? How about any new business to come before the board tonight? I understand there's a need for executive session to discuss the sale of property under 120/2C6. Is there a motion to enter into executive session to discuss the sale of this property?
You have a
Yep.
motion?
Do I have a second on the motion?
Second.
Please call the roll.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
Trustee Panicola?
Yes.
That's 4.
Motion carries. The board will enter into executive session. I would also like to advise the public that no final action will be taken when the board returns from executive session. It is cold in here. We ready? We have now returned from executive session. Village clerk, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Fry? Here. Trustee Lomax?
Here.
Trustee Panicola?
Here.
Trustee Perez? President DeSimone?
Here.
Here.
That's 5.
Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
You have a motion?
Do I have a second?
Second.
Please call the roll.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Panicola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's 4.
Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.